all here, and that lets you save.
Look here.
True Form Life.
Green look on.
Welcome to another edition of Exploring Mind and Body. As always, I'm your host, True Form's Drew Tadia, fitness expert. This show is dedicated to all those that wished me good luck on another 100 shows. This is number 101, so I'm going to talk about how grateful I am and a little story behind how the show actually started. We're also talking about persistent consistence. We've got all that and so much more coming up on...
This is Exploring Mind and Body with True Form's Drew Tadia, fitness expert on 96.5 CKFM.
This segment brought to you by True Form Fitness for all your health and fitness needs. Personal training and group classes available locally. Visit trueformlife.com for details.
The 100th show. The 100th show. The 100th show. Doesn't matter how many times I say it, it's still hard to believe. I've always been good at starting out with a bang. I've always started out full speed. I was good at turning heads and coming out of nowhere. The last 10 years of baseball, I hit leadoff, which means I was the first batter to hit for our team. I also always had a good on-base percentage, which means more than 50% of the time, I got on base, which is much better than average. Then, of course, this plays right into my specialty of stealing bases. Most teams I played for, I either led the team and often the league in this category. So there I am, standing at second base, only one hit away from having the first run scored in the first inning, before many teams knew the game even started. A comment I won't soon forget was by one of my coaches who managed an all-star team. During the season, he coached another team we played against. Now he was my coach. I'll never forget him saying before I started each game, go out there and be that terror we hated playing against. Being that sprinting was my specialty in many aspects, the long term wasn't my thing. I switched schools, teams, apartments, you name it. Sticking around wasn't my thing. So here we are with the 100th show, and I can't remember doing anything for this long with this much consistency. Week in and week out, here I am at the studio, remembering way back if this show would even get off the ground. I approached the radio station looking to do some sort of commercial. Being that it can be awfully expensive for airtime, I was looking for more of a trade, so to speak. I was countered by my producer, Jameson Brown, with the opportunity to host my own radio show. 15 minutes of airtime was on the table, an offer and opportunity that never even crossed my mind. I was much more closed off than I am today, if you could imagine. I didn't say much, didn't talk to too many people, didn't know many people. So to have my voice heard on an actual radio station, to be quite honest, wasn't all that appealing. On top of that, I don't remember the last time I talked for 15 minutes straight. One of the most difficult parts, and still is today, was sponsorship. I never cold called. I've never knocked on someone's door asking for anything, let alone money, for sponsorship. I don't have any background in sales, and I certainly wasn't used to talking to managers or owners of anything really, except maybe being yelled at by managers. I've been so very fortunate to find some owners and managers that have been with me right from the beginning. GDK Sand and Gravel were the very first sponsors we had, which gave me hope the show would run, and that it would be possible to find more. The CLC Fitness Center and Hell Street were also there right from the beginning, and gave me the confidence to continue on. No question, Hell Street is still a sponsor and has played a big role in supporting not only the show, but True Form in general. We have Shoppers Drug Mart, who I couldn't be more grateful to. I talked to the owner, who's a great guy, and always willing to give me a few minutes if I have any questions. AG Foods in Didsbury, been a longtime sponsor. Not only do they listen to the show at times, but they do their best to bring in healthy foods and fill any suggestions customers might have for healthy options. Curves is a new addition we're happy to have also. Some sponsors have come and gone, which is certainly understandable. Some businesses have passed on the opportunity to work with us, and others will have a chance in the future. Quite honestly, any way you look at it, this show wouldn't be possible without not only our sponsors, but the long-term support that the show counts on. Thank you all so much that participate in the show. Speaking of participating, to my friends, family, members, clients, listeners, everyone that's heard the show, everyone that listens on a consistent basis, I'm so grateful to have you. I get comments in town, emails, questions, testimonials, and the odd complaint, which is all part of it. But every single one of you make a difference in my life. So thank you for being there. Jameson Brown, my producer, who made this show possible, who edits and produces every single week. Thank you for your time and patience and being a part of exploring mind and body. It's clear Jameson has lost some weight as of recently and may very well continue to. He told me being involved with this show on a consistent basis has made a difference in his health, which is inspiring for me to hear and see. I remember the very first show. We started to record, and boy was I nervous. I didn't sleep the night before. It was like the night before a big game. I sat there while Jameson tried to pry words out of me along with confidence. We sat there for at least 6 hours, maybe longer, and hashed out the first show. I'm sure we both thought maybe this wasn't such a good idea. Actually, you know how we got the first show? After hours of talking and editing and me trying to speak into a microphone, Jameson asked me questions and didn't tell me the mic was still on. So I then talked like a regular person instead of a scared mouse, and he edited from there, which I must say was a brilliant move. When the first show aired, I sat there with my family and listened intently to what would become a part of me, a part of this period in my life. I couldn't have planned the first show any better if I were to do it again. So when I walked into the studio, Jameson says, "Here we go, the 100th show." I was in shock. I knew it was coming, but I didn't know how quickly. I planned to do a small event, a kickoff, or a celebration of number 100. Well, if you can imagine, it slipped my mind. With all the projects I have on the go, there was no planning, no official launch that I was hoping for. So I sit in the studio for the 100th time and couldn't help but get a little emotional. I had to literally give my head a shake and snap out of it. It all hit me at once. This is the 100th time I'm sitting in the studio recording a show that I host. I still don't think of myself as a talk show host or a radio personality or whatever they call those people that do this for a full-time job. Jameson and I would joke when we saved show 50 and 60 and on. We laughed and we say, never thought you'd get here. But seriously, 100 shows in, who really thought I'd be here? Who thought I would last? With the accomplishments I've been able to achieve, more recently than ever, I usually play them off. Not on purpose, but because I'm thinking of the next project, and I usually don't have anything to compare them to. I don't know how many books an independent author sells. I don't know how many fitness-type people create their own supplements, and I certainly don't know how many radio show hosts sit there for a couple years and record shows in the triple digits. It's different this time, though. This time I'm giving myself credit. I've been able to put myself in enough awkward situations consistently enough to keep this show moving forward. I've come up with enough material that I never thought I would, and be here week in and week out to make it all happen. 100 shows is a big deal to me, and no one can take that away from me. In baseball, it doesn't matter if you have one good at bat. It doesn't matter if you play a great game. There's always the next one. You're not known as a great player for playing a few good games or even a few good seasons. It's consistency that pays off. The NFL, which is the National Football League, is also called the Not For Long League, which means as hard as it is to get there, it's harder staying there, which goes right back to consistency. I'm here for now. I've been here, and not only that, but we're going to get better. I can guarantee you that. In fact, some news I wasn't going to share, I may as well. I'm working on a new website with recordings, podcasts, and new guests to keep you informed and living those healthy lifestyles. Once again, to all my support out there, I couldn't do this without you. Family asking for recordings, my mom still texting me good show, the comments, testimonials, Jameson's production, and 96.5 CKFM, who's a great family-run business, who's given me this stage. Thank you all for what you do.
Exploring mind and body with Trueform's Drew Tadia would not be possible without the help from the following sponsors: AG Foods in Didsbury, Health Street in the Cornerstone Shopping Center Olds, and Shoppers Drug Mart, working together to help build a healthier tomorrow. For more information on Trueform Life, Drew Tadia, or how to become a sponsor of Exploring Mind and Body, visit trueformlife.com.
This segment brought to you by Complete Truth Protein Powder. Live free, live true with whole natural foods. No additives, preservatives, soy, gluten, and dairy free. Supplement with superfoods to energize your day. Visit CompleteTruthProtein.co for details.
Consistent persistence, no matter what, is the recipe for success. Think about it. Persist consistently. What would you do if you went up against someone that would never quit? Now think about that one. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a sport. It could be a challenge. It could be a friendly game, or it could be a career. How could someone possibly fail if they never quit? How could you fail if you didn't let anything get in your way? The answer is simple. You couldn't. Things always come up in life. I promise you, if we're good at anything, it's coming up with reasons not to. It's coming up with excuses, reasons why this won't work or that won't. I can't tell you why, but I can tell you, we could be given every opportunity in the world and still find a reason not to. We could be given every advantage, every edge, every positive we need to succeed in a given field, and it's still there. That doubt, that fear. More times than not, it's that fear that holds us back. It's the doubt in the back of our minds that's easy to come, but hard to get rid of. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You could be trying to live a healthy lifestyle, which goes along with losing weight and being comfortable in your own body. What most people don't know is losing weight is a byproduct of living healthier, but that's a different topic. You could be trying to start a business or change your career. Whatever it is, for you to succeed, you need to persist consistently. You need to put your blinders on and focus on your target and let nothing get in your way. This is what it takes. This is what you need to do to succeed. Of course, I believe in baby steps. I believe in progression. I believe small progress is sustainable progress, which doesn't mean I think you can half-heartedly be in whatever it is you're after. Think about how much you want something. Unfortunately, we put ourselves through a certain amount of pain before we're willing to move on and try something else. Some people are willing to put themselves through that same pain their whole lives, and all they have to look forward to is benefits and retirement. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I will say that mindset isn't for me. That's the old way of thinking. That's a limited vision, and to be quite honest, I don't believe in limits. You can have, do, and be whatever you want. Here's the catch though, you have to want it. Understand you're going up against others that want things too. They want to succeed so bad, that's all they think about. They want to start a career in a field they love, and they'll do anything to achieve it. If you're in something because you think you want it, or because you feel you're supposed to, you're going to be in for a world of disappointment when the time comes and you realize you didn't want it that bad. Going back to the pain we put ourselves through, a good gauge of how bad we want something, or don't want something rather, think about why you want this change, why you want to move on. Does your boss talk down to you? Is there no appreciation at your place of employment, no matter how hard you work? Do you work in a toxic environment and can't stand it anymore? Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired of not fitting in your clothes, losing your breath when you tie your shoes, or can't play with your kids for more than 5 minutes? These are the things you can't forget when times get hard. These are the things that will push you to make a life-altering decision. This is the hard, and this is what you need to embrace. Love the hard. Love the difficult. Because I guarantee you, someone else trying to achieve something similar is. It might not be a competition for you, and it doesn't have to be. You could simply be trying to live better, and there's no reason that anyone should feel like there's a competition there. What I'm getting at is that feeling, that pain that made you take action. You need to hold on to it. Hold on to it like it's a rope holding your life in its hands, because this pain could be your best friend. It's going to push you further than you ever thought possible. And please understand, I'm not telling you to hold on to an emotion like failure or rejection and use it as many do as an excuse not to move on in life. I'm telling you, you can use the pain as a tool for your benefit. Those memories of feeling awkward in an airplane because the seats are too small, can't find a collar that'll fit your neck, those times that your coworkers sneer at you at your lunch or look down at you because you work out on your break, these painful situations can pull you along when times get difficult. And trust me, times will get difficult. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with hard. We fear hard only because it's unknown, only because we don't know how to use it to our advantage. Hard usually accompanies pain. And what I'm getting at is, instead of avoiding these situations that are inevitable, use them to push yourself forward. Action is the greatest intention. Did we all catch that? Action is the greatest intention. It doesn't do any good to wish and hope or dream and do nothing about it. We must act. We must take progressive steps forward. Are you willing to put in 12 to 14 hours a day to make sure your career succeeds? Do you have the stomach to wonder where your next paycheck will come from? If you'll be able to eat or pay rent? Because a lot of people don't. This is exactly why people stay at the job they hate, because of the benefits, because they feel secure. It's a false sense of security if you ask me, but nonetheless, they don't have to worry about food. What they do have to worry about is stress levels and being miserable their whole lives, but we all have choices, and there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong here. We can all choose. Are you willing to get up day after day and hit the gym, treadmill or walking path? Are you going to prepare meals, surround yourself with supportive people, and move forward, especially on those days you don't feel like it? Can you consistently persist? Will you? Because that job you can't stand is waiting for you. It'll always be there. Those clothes that make you feel miserable, you know the ones that make you rather not look in the mirror, those will be there too. You have a choice. We all have choices. You can choose to consistently persist. Go after your dreams head on and let nothing get in your way, or you can choose not to. What's great about this life? What's great about the world we live in? We control our destiny. We choose. We get to decide, and no one else.
Exploring mind and body with Trueform Life's Drew Tadian. Brought to you in part by Curves Complete, the whole solution that makes burning fat as easy as 1, 2, 3. Get exercise, meal plan, and coaching for $14.95 a week. Call Curves and Olds at 403-556-5992 to schedule a free, no-obligation appointment.
All right, that's all we have for you this evening. Be sure to tune in next week. We have Rick Kohut joining us, who's a holistic nutritionist, owner of Health Street, and he's going to tell us all about digestion and how to make those improvements. As always, I'm your host, True Form's Drew Tadian, fitness expert in health and fitness for a better world. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to Exploring Mind and Body with Trueform's Drew Tadian, fitness expert. For more on Trueform's Drew Tadian, visit TrueFormLife.com. Exploring Mind and Body with Trueform Life's Drew Tadian would not be possible without the help of GDK Gravel and Sand. GDK Gravel and Sand, now offering all products in 1/2 and 1 yard bags. Give them a call today for more information. 1-877-335-2091.